Welcome to episode 5 of the 30-day experiment. I wanted to set out to see if I could be a digital nomad, and so I did a 30-day experiment in Mexico City, and these videos leading up to now have documented what I was able to do and the experiences that I had. But there was something fundamental that I was missing, and it was a comment that I received on a Reddit thread that helped me put this all in perspective, because I want this to be a lot bigger than just a 30-day experiment. I want to talk to other digital nomads around the world and figure out how they were able to do it, why they're doing it, and what the impact that has been on their life, their business, their family, and really get into the minds and the hearts of people that are traveling all over the world in this new economy. But one thing that was missing was that I didn't tell you, my viewers, what I do and why I did it in the first place, which is kind of ridiculous that we're at episode 5 and I completely forgot to do this. But that's why also I need some help in terms of getting a documentarian to help me with this next series that I'll be doing in Thailand. But let me tell you a little bit about me. So my name is Tom Jackobs. I owned a fitness business for 9 years. I sold that a year and a half ago, and I took my business completely online, where I do storytelling and sales training for entrepreneurs and business owners all over the world. So I don't need to physically be in a certain location. I can actually do this from anywhere in the world as long as I have my laptop and a good internet connection and this handy dandy camera with me. And that's what I was able to do for 30 days in Mexico City. And I've had a few comments from somewhat trolly type of people that said, well, 30 days is hardly enough. Well, you know what? You're right. It hardly was enough. But it gave me a taste of what could happen and gave me the idea to actually interview other digital nomads so that I could find out why they did it and how they did it. It also came about that I had a lot of questions from people like, well, how did you do it for 30 days? And I've had a lot of people that have said it inspired them to take, a 10-day trip to see if they could do it as well, or 15 days and things like that. My time in Mexico City was absolutely brilliant. I was very purposeful in how I set that up. So first of all, booking the trip, all that, you can book a hotel, you can book Airbnb and all that, which is great. But what do you do back at home so that you can make sure that, like your regular home, because I have a home that I have had for 15 years. I own it. I also rent out 2 of the rooms, one on Airbnb and the other just to a roommate. And the idea came to me as like, well, I'm not going to be at home. I have somebody here that can kind of look after things as well. And I have my bedroom that will be unused for the time that I'm away. So why don't I just list that on Airbnb? And that's exactly what I did. And I listed my room on Airbnb, and here's the listing right here. And I listed it for, $40, $42 a night. I think it went up to $48. And I hired a cleaning crew that would come in and turn the room for a new guest if I had several guests for that 30 days. And as it turned out, my room was filled for most of the month. And look at this calendar right here. It was completely booked except for a few days. The beautiful thing was that while I was renting it for between $40 and $45 a night, I was renting my apartment in Mexico City for about $32 a night. So automatically I was making money on my room. So I would encourage anybody that actually has a physical owned residence, use your assets, because those assets can actually work for you rather than just staying dormant while you're away. So why not list it on Airbnb? It's easy to find a trusted cleaning crew that will come in, turn the room or turn the house or turn the apartment for you, and they'll charge you a fee, which you just tack on to the Airbnb fee. It's really quite brilliant. And in my experience, most Airbnb guests are used to not having the owner around and handling everything through email or phone calls, and that's exactly how I handled things while I was 800 miles away. The other thing that I did, because I have another asset that would be sitting unused for 30 days, and that was my car. And I decided to rent that on Turo. It's a website for peer-to-peer car rental. You list it, I have a lockbox on my garage with the key in it, give people the code, and it was very, very easy. And then people started to ask me, well, what if there's an accident? What if somebody ruins your car? And I said, well, it's just a car, and that's what insurance is for. And wouldn't you know, one of the renters scraped up my car. And here's a picture of those scrapes on my townhome, and kind of messed it up pretty bad. But the beautiful thing was that Turo has an amazing insurance policy, and with just a few pictures of the damage, they were able to assess how much the damage was going to cost. And when I returned, I took it to a body shop, they fixed it up, and everything is just fine. You'd never know that there was a scratch on that car. While I was running around Mexico City, one thing that was very important to me was that I continued my healthy eating and the way that I like to fuel my body with food. I would go to markets on a fairly regular basis and purchase the eggs that I wanted to cook in the morning, the bacon, yes, I eat bacon in the morning, and chicken and vegetables that I would roast. And that kept a lot of the cost down, so I wasn't eating out every meal, but also kept me healthy at the same time as I was eating really fresh, very good food that I had prepared myself, and I knew exactly what was in it. Well, at the same time, I was able to go out several times a week and enjoy the local cuisine as well. And those accommodations on Airbnb were absolutely perfect. Here's a picture of the listing. It was a brand new building, about 2 years old. It had 24-hour security in it. There was laundry, there was a gym, there was a terrace. It was absolutely perfect, full kitchen. I couldn't have asked for a better accommodation. On my next trip, which will be 30 days, maybe more, I will probably try to extend it maybe 5 weeks so I can really experience the area. My next trip will be in Thailand. I'll choose 2 locations, Bangkok and Chiang Mai, which I will spend a little bit of time in each, and then maybe go to the beach for a weekend and experience that. But at the same time, I want to meet other digital nomads in Thailand and interview them for my docu-series that I'm putting together on the new economy that we have. So if you know of anybody that is in Thailand, is a digital nomad, and would like to be a part of this experiment with me, then please put them in touch with me, put a comment below. I would love to connect with them while I'm there in January of 2019. I want to understand why other people decide to travel the world and work remotely and experience the culture. I know why I did it, and I did it because, one, I can. I love to travel, but I love experiencing other cultures. I love that hustle and bustle of a big city and meeting new people and understanding what drives them and meeting business people that are doing some really amazing things in different countries. When I went to the entrepreneurial conference in Mexico City, which was a week-long conference of entrepreneurs, I was amazed at all the different technologies and business ideas that people had and were sharing with the world. And this was in Mexico City. Why isn't that being broadcast around the world, that all these other countries other than the US, we're so US centric, I think sometimes, that we forget that there's other innovations around the world. And by looking at other entrepreneurs, getting to know them, understanding their stories, I want to promote that more and more so that people can see that they aren't bound by where they live, that the world is a big place, yet it's a small place at the same time. And that's why I'm putting together this docu-series, because I want to experience the full breadth of the world and the ability to work, develop relationships, and build a business that can be done anywhere in the world. So I'm glad that you're here along the journey with me. So stick with me on a few more episodes here, and please let me know what you think of this docu-series and give me some good criticism so that the next show that I put together in January, with a little bit of help, of course, will be absolutely phenomenal and you'll get a lot of value out of it. And there it is, another episode in Mexico City.